Okay, so now it's 8:50 and we're back. If you are ready, you can turn on the cameras to signify you're back. While waiting for a few more people, we haven't get to know Parasati Pillai. Are you present?
Yeah, present.
Oh, okay. I think you joined yesterday also, huh?
Yes, Bante, I did.
Okay, are you from Malaysia as well?
Yes, Bante, I'm from Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
Ah, okay.
And actually, I'm also new to learning about the Buddha, about his teachings and all. Like now, close to about, I think less than 10 years.
Ah, okay.
But I come from a spiritual background as well.
Okay.
So it was whatever, and I was actually first time when I attended was under Bante Punaji.
Okay. The late Venerable Punaji.
Yeah, he teaches from the scientific perspective.
Okay.
Which was really mind blowing, and I felt that I understood what he was talking about. And that really changed my life over the 10 days retreat, which was actually an intermediate retreat, but I was truly lucky enough to able to attend, though it was packed. So from then on, I've been like, I listen to everything without doubts, and I know every teaching. Whatever has been shared, it's true. So I just, I don't understand why, but maybe I do not ask questions, or I'm quite matured. But I feel that I understand whatever you're talking, Bante. So I'm new though, but because of my parents were very spiritual, and actually I had a lot of quite experiences also, Bante. I've never shared with anybody, but I had a lot of experiences even when I used to attend retreats at Maha. Yeah. Okay. And I just take it as it, and that's my experience, and I just take it like that, but I never really shared. Even though I also attended a Vipassana, sorry, but I'm taking your time.
No, it's okay. All right.
I also attended a Vipassana retreat, 10 days retreat, and I had a very mind-blowing experience there. Like it is like like up to infinity, like that kind of thing. Okay. Yeah. It was like we are just atom and diffuse, but I was awakened then that was not on, but yeah, but from the way they see me, those like a couple of years back, that was like 3 years back. But of course, I cannot get the same experience, but I try to meditate as much as I can. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for the introduction. Yeah, a lot of
Thank you,
experiences.
Bante, for giving me a chance.
Yeah, cannot be put into words.
Bante.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank
you. Exactly, Bante. It's so indescribable. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much, Bante.
No problem. Okay, so at least we know you're present, and perhaps we can start. Yeah. Okay. For those who are prepared and seated, make sure your back upright, body relaxed. Okay, so what we're doing is, due to different groups of people coming, we're going to do a bit of yesterday's practice, right? Entering concentration using the breath. So first, again, we are going to do a bit of stretching of the mind. We are going to soften the mind first. We're going to wish the entire body well and happy. So whatever sensation you feel, may be well and happy. then we're trying to expand the mind, wishing all beings in all directions, may they be well and happy. So just a gentle wish, no pushing. This is an expanded mind. And now we are restricting the mind below the nostril, or depending whichever spot of the body you are comfortable with. So for those who are new, you can try below the nostril. Feel the breath. No controlling and no forcing are very important. Just gentle attention below the tip of the nose, above the upper lip, and we're going to feel the in and out breathing. Whenever there's an inhalation, wish the breath well. Exhalation, wish the breath happy. So no need to control the breathing. Let it be a natural reflex action. It means you inhale, exhale by itself. You just take note of the reflection. Well and happy, well and happy. Can be fast, can be slow, doesn't matter. And you don't have to feel maybe your lungs or diaphragm, right? Just below the nostril, one small area. So this is the most important step, to be at peace with the breath. Never struggle and control or push the mind or try to contain the breath. The more you do it, the more dukkha, the more suffering. So the way to reach the peace is through right thought. So we're first applying loving kindness. So we treat the peace as a byproduct, always emphasize on the process and the right thought. So it's not just one moment or 1 second, it's every in and out breath. Breathe in well, breathe out happy. We start to feel tension and the breath. That means there's certain coercion and certain violence to the mind. So please have more loving kindness. Don't expect any shape, or do not have a preconceived idea on what is quiet mind. Yeah? So in the breath meditation, we are not training the breath. I remember that. We are training to be at peace with the 5 aggregates. Inhale well, exhale happy. Continue this journey. It's just like driving a car. You step on this acceleration pedal, which is the right thought. And all experiences, all sensations, be it pleasant feeling or calmness, all these are passing sceneries. Yeah, it's good to take note to know where you are, yeah, so you won't get lost, but you don't have to stop at every scenery. Yeah? Nice feeling, then you stop and traffic jam. Or you cannot continue your journey, yeah? You cannot reach your destination. Okay, once the mind is calm, or if things rather calm with this goodwill, at peace with the breath, then you can introduce the thought of non-greed. So this time around, we're adding impermanence. So when inhale, there's a birth and death of the sensation. Exhale, birth and death of a sensation. So the sensations of the breath, there are these 4 general classifications of sensations, or the 4 elements, right? The earth element, hard and soft, fire, hot and cold, wind, fast, slow movements, and water, moist or dry. Or whatever sensation you feel beyond these 4 elements, right? As long as it appears, then you observe how it passes away. All sensations that you feel in the breath or the breath body arises and passes away. So there are 2 aspects. The first aspect is the observation, which constantly you must take note, pay attention. And the second aspect is the reflection. So in the mind, you must keep repeating this reflection or mantra, whatever label you want to use, birth, death, rising, falling, impermanence, change. so they can convert this observation into wisdom. So this acceleration pedal, do not let go. Keep on contemplating on this impermanence. So the more impermanence, then the more detachment, and it will cause the mind to settle. So keep accelerating this detachment until it will reach a point where it becomes stable. That means the rate of settling is like very negligible. Yeah? You settle to a point where it like doesn't settle any further. Then we call this the stability point, or otherwise known as the one-pointedness of the mind. Different from one-pointedness of the breath. Yeah. So the breath is a physical breath, but the settling of the mind, that is another thing. It may be different areas altogether, yeah? Different positions. And if you have reached this stability point, right, where the rate of settling is very negligible, then you can familiarize yourself with this state of mind and remember this emotion, just like remembering the landmarks and signposts when you're driving. But keep continuing with the acceleration pedal, mindful of this impermanence of the breath. So at this point of time, this ground zero, not yet even entering into any levels of concentration, then you remember this emotion, and most probably it is very bland, nothing pleasant yet. And once you have fulfilled these two criteria, first is your mind has to be calm, second, you remember this emotion, then we can shift gear. Yeah? So what we do is we let go of this state of mind, just like a child letting go of a balloon, and just let the mind evolve naturally by itself without exerting or pushing anywhere. And how do you know you reached the first level? Is that the emotion will change. It's a different state of mind, a different emotion. There will be the indicator that you are at the first level. So a general idea would be it's a pleasant emotion consisting of joy or happiness. And then just take note of this landmark and continue the impermanence of the breath as though stepping on the acceleration pedal until you reach a new state of calm. And if you have tension, that means you are pushing and having violence. Then you can switch, to a bit of loving kindness to this breath. In your mind, you think it's relatively calm and the stability point, then you can take note of this emotion and continue this acceleration pedal, mindful of impermanence. Okay, and once you think you have familiarized yourself at this first level, then you can shift gear, change the second gear. All you need to do is make a wish to let go. And release the mind just like a child releasing a balloon, and let the mind evolve naturally by itself without interfering, without pushing. And how do you know if you have reached the second level? It will be a different kind of pleasant emotion. And if you have arrived at the second level, then you can take note of this landmark. Remember this emotion and continue with this acceleration pedal, mindful of impermanence of the breath until the mind reaches this new one-pointedness and this new calmness. And if your mind is rather settled, and then you can remember this emotion and continue with impermanence of the breath. And if you're familiarized at the second level, then you can shift gear and make a wish to let go of this state of mind, just like a child letting go of a balloon. And once you release the mind, no need to exert or push, let it evolve naturally by itself. And if you've arrived at the third level, then it should be a different emotion again. So technically it's happiness. We take note of this happiness and the impermanence of the breath, right? And do not let go of this acceleration pedal, this impermanence, until you reach this new speed limit, or rather this new calmness. And if you think your mind is rather settled and calm, then you can familiarize yourself with this emotion and continue mindful of impermanence of the breath. And if you think you familiarize yourself with the third level, then you can shift gear and make a wish to let go of the mind, just like a child releasing a balloon. And you let the mind evolve naturally by itself. And if you have arrived at the fourth level, you've done it correctly, then you should have this emotion of equanimity. And so you can take note of this emotion and continue mindful of impermanence of the breath until the mind settles to this new rate of calm and stability. And if you think your mind has calmed down, then you can familiarize yourself with the emotion of equanimity and continue with this mindful of impermanence. Okay, and now we are going to reverse order, ghost tongue, and make a wish to go down to level 3. And let the mind collapse, go down. And as it collapses, we just observe any change in emotion or change in sensation. And once there's a change in general emotion, right, the equanimity is gone and replaced by this happiness, then you take note and continue this mindfulness of impermanence for the mind to settle down. And if you are calm at the 3rd level, then we can make a wish to go down to level 2. And as the mind collapses, then you can observe any change in emotion or change in sensation. Once there's a change, there's a different landmark, then you can continue mindful of impermanence until the mind settles down. think your mind is calm and you remember this emotion, then you can make a wish to go down to level 1. And as the mind collapses, you can observe any change in emotion or sensation. If there is a change in emotion, right, a new indicator, then you take note of this landmark and continue with mindfulness or impermanence for the mind to settle down. And if you think your mind is rather calm and you have familiarized yourself with this emotion, then you can make a wish to go down back to ground zero, to the original breath body. And when the mind collapses, you can observe any change in emotion or sensation. And if you're at ground zero, all the nice emotion should be all gone. Right? Now there should be very bland state of mind. And just take note of this emotion and continue mindful of impermanence of the breath. Until the mind settles down. So this settling or agitation of the mind is a bit like the overheating meter, yeah, the indicator. Too much reaction to a sense stimuli will cause the mind to suffer. But if a person has already some equanimity, even though there is external suffering, but internally the mind can be cool. you can start to feel the entire body again, yeah? So the area of attention is subject to clinging. Yeah, that's the 5 aggregates. So basically, wherever your attention lands, always be mindful of impermanence, so they can keep the mind cool, not overheated, and reacting to every sense stimuli. Then can let the mind freestyle. And basically now it's open-ended area. The mind let it be natural, run around everywhere, just like little children running around here and there. And wherever your attention lands, yeah, you just need to take note how it arises, how it disappears, how it arises, how it passes away, or the birth and death of every attention. So there's no coercion, exertion, deliberate direction, just passive observer. Yeah, the more passive, the better. So in fact, the ultimate goal is to reach a passive mind. Normally, the mind is a reactive mind, reactive greed or hatred. So now we are doing the reverse. then we can be always mindful of impermanence, whatever our state of mind, whatever cognitive process or function we're using, be it restricted small area, large area, freestyle area, can still practice detachment. Okay, so with that in mind, we can physically open our eyes. But mentally always mindful, yeah? Okay, so if like a few minutes left, those have any problems or questions, you may raise them. Yeah, healing better now, today.
Slightly better, but
Okay.
still not at the passing level. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Physical hindrance, right? Some conditioning is required. So if you want, like in your free time, actually, you can try maybe sitting on a more comfortable chair, and don't try to force yourself like full lotus on the ground or something. Yeah, physical pain or hindrance may affect this withdrawing of the mind from the senses. Yeah. Okay. How about others? Any issues? All okay? No problem. I want to end the session quickly and the retreat. Okay, so if there's no further issues, then we can end the session. Okay, so always remember to dedicate merits. Yeah, whatever we cultivated, we share to all sentient beings. We dedicate. Akasata cha bhumata devanaga mahitika punyantang anumoditva cirang rakantu loka sasanam etavata cha amhehi sapadang punya sapadang sabbe deva sabbe bhuta sabbe sata anumodantu sabba sampati siddhya. And a transference of merits to departed. Idam ninyatidam hotu sukhita hotu nyatayo. Idam ninyatidam hotu sukhita hotu nyatayo. Idam ninyatidam hotu sukhita hotu nyatayo. And aspiration, Divina punya kamena mami bala samagamo. Satang samagamo hotu yavadibana patiya. Sadhu, sadhu. Okay, so that concludes the retreat. Any further announcements from Terence?
No announcement, Monday. See you all on Tuesday night.
All right,
Monday
so
night.
that's it, and good night. And main thing, take away if let's say whatever you've forgotten, always mindful of impermanence. Yeah, either loving kindness or impermanence. So this is the whatever you do, right? Okay, so that's it. Okay, good night.
Okay, thank you, Bante.
Okay, right.
Thank you, Bante. Good night.
No problem. Good
Sadhu,
night.
sadhu. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.